If average fixed cost was our only cost, then we would simply continue producing units to infinity, because that would lower our per unit cost. But we also have average variable cost to consider. An average variable cost initially decreases and then it begins to increase. If we only had average variable cost to consider, then we would simply produce to the point where average variable cost was at its minimum, because our per unit variable cost would be at its lowest for production. However, we have both variable costs and fixed costs, and so we need to look at average total cost. Average total cost can be calculated by taking total cost and dividing it by total product, or you can simply take average fixed cost and add it to average variable cost. When we had one worker, our average fixed cost was 12.5, our average variable cost was 12.5, therefore our average total cost is 25. If you took total cost of 200 and you divided it by our total product of 8, you get the average total cost of 25. So we can see that either method will work to get us our average total cost. So for this example, we'll just continue to add average fixed cost plus average variable cost. When we have two workers, we add the average fixed cost of 5 to the average variable cost of 10. We get an average total cost of 15. And we can do this for all the other scenarios as well. We see that average total cost decreases, and then at a point it starts to increase again. And let's graph this information. We will put this information on the same graph as our average variable cost and average total cost. We start by putting a dot where we have 8 units produced and our average total cost is 25. When 20 units are produced, our average total cost is 15. When 45 units are produced, our average total cost is 8.889. When 75 units are produced, our average total cost is 6.67. When 100 units are produced, our average total cost is 6. When 120 units are produced, our average total cost is 5.83. When 130 units are produced, our average total cost is 6.15. And when 135 units are produced, our average total cost is 6.67. We can connect these dots to get our average total cost curve. We see that our average total cost initially decreases until it hits a minimum, and then it begins to increase. Our average total cost falls initially because average fixed costs and average variable costs are both declining. An average fixed cost is decreasing at a very rapid rate. It pulls down the average total cost. Average total cost then begins to increase after a certain number of units, because at this point average fixed cost is very small and average variable cost is increasing. That increase in average variable cost pulls up our average total cost.